Hi and welcome to this channel. My name is Rainer and this is Rainierbooks. This is the first book haul video of 2021 from this channel. So let's get started. Tana French is one of the most successful crime writers of our days. She is Irish, and I remember that I think it was her first novel in the woods many years ago, and I really liked it. So now I ordered from the library, the Stockholm City Library, her newest one, which is called The Searcher. And I got it from the, as you can see, Rinkeby City Library, which is in the north of Stockholm. So they brought the book to Fröängen, where I picked it up, and now I have 4 weeks on me to read it. The Searchers is a novel that you will recognize. I mean, the sujet, the topic of the novel, you will recognize from dozens of films and dozens of novels, and both authors and filmmakers have done it differently, the story, but it's the same story. It's a story of someone who is searching. It's the story of a Chicago policeman. His name is Cal Hooper. He has worked in Chicago for 25 years. He retires from the Chicago police force. He goes to Ireland. He moves to Ireland and lives in a very small village in Ireland. And he has a pub in his village, and that's everything he needs for the rest of his days until things happen that require his special skills. Troy Reddy is a young man, and his brother is gone missing in the little village. And, well, good old Cal Hooper is going to investigate that case, of course. First, he probably doesn't want it, but then he's going to do it. And what he finds, I don't know. I will know in 4 weeks and tell you all about it. Tana Searcher, the Frenchers, or what? No. Tana French, The Searcher is a novel that I recently got from the Stockholm City Library. But now to books that I have bought. Books that are new on my shelves, on my old and aging shelves. But my shelves don't exist anymore. They are not full anymore because they look like this. That's a mess, right? Isn't it? And the reason for this mess is that I'm going to move from this apartment in about 2 months from now, and I will tell you more about it when I move and when I have moved. But that's 2 months from now, about 50 days or something like that, 55, 60 days probably tomorrow. And we go on with the next book that I received. Now actually the mode has changed where I buy my books, because I used to buy my books in the United Kingdom. I used to buy my books at a website called, I don't get anything from them, a website called Alibris Co. UK. I think it's an American site. It's an American company which is based in Emeryville in California. This is a huge company, and they are selling books from used booksellers and from bookstores in the UK and in the United States, and they are sort of the central distribution company for that. So I used to get my books from different booksellers in the UK, but on the side, Alibris Co. UK, until the end of the year of 2020. From then on, the beautiful United Kingdom had decided in a majority vote to leave the European Union. And from the 1st of January 2021, they are not a member state anymore. All the benefits have gone that the UK had with the EU. Most of them have gone, actually. And one of the huge benefits was that we Europeans, from now 27 countries in the EU, could buy books without having to pay extra taxes to anyone, not in our own country and not to the United Kingdom. Now that has apparently changed. From the 1st of January, we have to pay more. And that's why I order my British or English or American books mostly here in Sweden. 2017, a woman checks her boyfriend's phone and she finds out that her beautiful, wonderful, beloved boyfriend is an internet troll. Yeah, that's what you could find out. And this takes her on a journey through the United States, but mostly also to the wonderful, beautiful capital of Germany, Berlin, where Lauren Oyler, the author, has lived for a couple of years. So she uses that background that she's used to from Berlin and writes a story about fake accounts. I think a very interesting debut novel that I'm looking very much forward to read. I hope it's thrilling and exciting. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, a diddly 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 dum, doo doo be dum. Marilyn Monroe sings that song much better than I do in the beautiful movie Some Like It Hot, starring Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon, and Tony Curtis. You have seen that movie, I'm sure you have. The director was the German-born director Billy Wilder, who fled to Hollywood when the Nazis came to power in Germany. And Billy Wilder is one of the greatest directors of Hollywood in the 1950s and I think the 1960s. I think he even directed The Apartment, which is a beautiful movie with Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon. Did a lot of work with Jack Lemmon. Billy Wilder also did a movie called Sabrina in 1954, which is one of my favorite movies of the 1950s, probably, of that glamorous Hollywood time, with amazing actress Audrey Hepburn and the also unforgettable Humphrey Bogart. So Wilder was one of the greatest. He did also 1, 2, 3. He did movies like Avanti, and he did movies like Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard with Gloria Swanson. I personally like also very much his movie The Fortune Cookie, where he again filmed with Jack Lemmon and the great Walter Matthau. There is a novel about Billy Wilder, and that's why I'm telling you all this. And I received this novel, I think it was written and published in 2020 by the British author Jonathan Coe. And this is called Mr. Wilder and Me. Mr. Wilder and Me, published by Viking in 2020. I don't like my lamp up there, which gives my hair a very crazy color, but doesn't matter. Okay, Mr. Wilder and Me is the story, you see, of a forgotten of a time that is in the past, in the I think in the 1970s probably. Billy Wilder's star is slowly falling, and he's in Greece shooting a movie. And there's a woman called Callista, and she's working for Billy Wilder on this island. She doesn't know much about the great author, of the great director and author, and she is meeting Billy Wilder, and this is about she follows him even to Munich, to München, as we say in German, and some backstory of his life. So another novel after Fake Accounts that takes us to Germany by Jonathan Coe, Mr. Wilder and Me. The next novel is from another British author. It is a debut novel that comes from a woman who I think she's from Manchester in England. She has worked as a bookseller for the big British book chain Waterstones. And now she's an author, and she's currently writing also already her second novel. And her first novel, that I think has already been sold to 20 languages, is a huge success, apparently, and it's one of the most expected books of 2021. And I absolutely adore the cover and also the... This is Girl A by Abigail Dean. Abigail Dean and Girl A. I love the cover of this book, and I also love the inside. You know, that's how it looks inside with that grade A. Girl A. Unputdownable. Beautiful and surprising, fantastic, utter genius. Well, we know all the blurbs, but a book has really to sort of convince with its class. And I hope that Girl A is going to do that. What is Girl A about? Girl A is a story, also not a new story, like the one that I told you about in The Searcher by Tana French. This is a story of a girl who grew up in a house of horror. And she survived the horrors, but now when she's an adult, when she's grown up, the horrors come back to haunt her again. And how she handles this is Girl A by Abigail Dean. Sarah Talbot Jennings is a young American woman arriving in the beautiful city of Bangkok, Thailand. She has a suitcase with her, and in this suitcase she has the sum of $200,000. That's the beginning of the novel The Glass Kingdom by Lawrence Osborne. It's the second book by Lawrence Osborne that I have acquired. The first one that I actually got as an audiobook was called Only to Sleep. And Only to Sleep is the continuation of the story of one of the greatest heroes of my reading life, of a guy called Philip Marlowe, former private detective in Los Angeles, California, and jumped out of the fantasy of the great Raymond Chandler, and Chandler, as Eric Ambler called him. Lawrence Osborne has written Only to Sleep 2 years ago, and now he's out with The Glass Kingdom that was published last year. It's a story about Thailand, about political upheavals in this country, about the world of expat women, and some dark stuff as well. So I'm really looking forward to read Lawrence Osborne's The Glass Kingdom. This year, I think he's coming already with a new novel that has already been scheduled to be published later this year about Hong Kong, but this is about Thailand, and this is A Glass Kingdom. I always like to read non-fiction books. I usually read one fiction and one non-fiction book at the same time. Right now I'm still working and reading Caste by Isabel WIlkerson. Yeah, that's her name. And I'm also reading Ian Rankin's A Song for the Dark Times. So one of my next nonfiction reads could definitely be this beautiful cover, not the cover, but the book, Declan Walsh, The 9 Lives of Pakistan, about this guy's life in Pakistan. He's a journalist. He has worked for the New York Times. He's Irish. He writes about a country that many people regard as the most dangerous country in the world. Beautiful. And I think that's about it of the books that I received into... No, it's not. No, it's not. There's a little surprise for you. This book has a motto, the next and final book of my little book haul here for you. Think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say my glory was I had such friends. William Butler Yeats. Summer 1986. Tully Dawson made himself new to the world and ripe for the glories of that summer by showing he was unlike his father. It wasn't a matter to fight over. Some families are made up of strangers and nothing can change it. But I think it always bothered Tully that Woodbine couldn't cheer him on when he came by the football field to watch the game. The old man would only shake his head in a know-all way and stare at the Firth of Clyde with an injured look. Tully had named him after the cigarettes. They had all their nicknames, those reluctant fathers. They sat at home opening cans of lager and cursing our Saturday nights. I suppose we could have drifted over the touchline and asked his opinion, but being young is a kind of warfare in which the great enemy is experience. Our cheeks burned, and we watched him walk towards the unstained light of the harbour. That is the beginning of Andrew O'Hagan's novel Mayflies, which is the last novel that I present in this book haul. And my light is disturbing me again. Please don't disturb me, dear light, okay? Andrew O'Hagan, this is a story about a friendship between two guys who were best buddies forever. What's it called? It's called... Best friends forever. Okay, that's it. Best friends who were best friends forever when they were young, but then they didn't have so much contact. And like 30 years later, after this summer of 1986, after this beautiful summer of 1986, the telephone rings and the two guys, well, will they meet again? This is Mayflies, a story about friendship and a story about youth and a story about the time that vanishes. And I'm really looking forward to read this one by Andrew O'Hagan. Mayflies, published by Faber, and it is situated in Glasgow. And my bad Scottish accent, I think it's only the R that works. Everything else is fake and false. But please excuse me, I'm still learning. So these were some of the books that I hauled in this haul. There will be more books because in Sweden we have the Bookrea, which is started yesterday. No, it started on Tuesday, 2 days ago. And Bookrea means that the big book companies, not only the big, but also the small bookshops, they all sell books much cheaper, Swedish books, mostly in Swedish language. And I ordered a couple of them, and I'm still waiting for my package. I think I ordered 4 or 5 books, and I will also do a haul for this one. But I also wait for at least 2 more books from the UK where I will have to pay tax and the administration fee, and 1 more book that is on the way all the way, I have to say, from Winnipeg in Canada, which is The Skin We're In by Desmond Cole. I can reveal it here, but I will do a book haul when all these books have arrived and when I finally have to pack them down in boxes before my move to another place here in Stockholm, Sweden. Thank you very much for watching this video. As always, I have reached 400 subscribers yesterday, and I was really happy about that. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel and for watching the videos and for leaving so nice and beautiful comments, which I not always answer directly, but I will always try to answer them in an appropriate time. Thanks very much. That means a lot to me, really. And as always, we'll see each other on Sunday again with a weekly wrap-up of my current reads and of the plan for the next week or weeks to come. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.